The phone buzzed quietly in my lap. David's voice was steady, businesslike. Quantum Capital Partners withdrawal is processing. Other vehicles have completed theirs. You're officially out. I typed back a simple acknowledgement. Thank you. Marcus was losing it, shouting into his phone. I don't care if it's irregular. I need to know who owns Quantum Capital Partners. Check the corporate filings. Check the beneficial ownership records. He paused, listening. What do you mean it's a private investment vehicle? Everything has ownership records. Dad stood slowly, his face a mix of disbelief and exhaustion. Marcus, put the phone down. I need to put it down, Marcus muttered, setting it on the table. Dad's eyes flicked from him to Claire, then Gerald, and finally landed on me in the corner. Emma, he said slowly. The Catherine Sterling Trust. That was your mother's trust, wasn't it? Everyone turned toward me. Yes, I said simply. The trust passed to me when she died. Did you have anything to do with these withdrawals? Dad asked cautiously. I met his eyes. Yes. The room fell silent. Marcus stared like I'd materialized out of thin air. You pulled $22 million from the family trust without telling anyone? His voice cracked with disbelief. It's my trust, I said evenly. I don't need to tell anyone, but why would you? He stopped. Wait. You're saying you own the Catherine Sterling Trust, but what about the other investments? The venture fund? The other vehicles? They're mine too, I said. Marcus laughed, but it was strained, hollow. No, that's not possible. The Series B venture fund, Quantum Capital Partners, that's a serious investment firm. They've got... He grabbed his phone frantically, searching. They've got a professional website, a portfolio, a management team. Quantum Capital Partners is an investment firm I established 3 years ago, I said calmly. The management team is David Chin, my investment director, and 3 financial analysts. We manage approximately $600 million in assets across various holdings. Sterling Technologies represented 14% of our portfolio. Represented, I corrected. As of 2 hours ago, we're fully divested. Claire made a small sound, almost a whimper. Dad sank back into his chair, the weight of comprehension pressing down on him. You've been investing in Sterling Technologies for 3 years? Gerald asked, stunned. Yes. I started with a $5 million angel investment during the Series A round. You needed capital quickly, and I provided it through a shell corporation. Marcus never asked where the money came from. He just took it. That was you. Marcus's face turned red. The Series A angel investor? Yes. Then I participated in Series B through Quantum Capital as the lead investor. $40 million at a favorable valuation because again, you weren't being selective about investors. I vetted everyone. Marcus muttered, I did due diligence on Quantum Capital. They checked out. Of course they checked out. It's a legitimate investment firm. I just never mentioned I owned it. I opened my laptop, detailing several smaller investments as well. Sterling Family Trust, Oak Ridge Capital, Pacific Northwest Ventures. Altogether, $84 million across 4 funding rounds. Gerald's eyes widened. You've been the company's largest investor this entire time. Yes, and no one asked. Marcus slammed his hand on the table. This is insane. You're an entry-level employee. You take meeting notes, you schedule conference calls. How the hell do you have $84 million to invest? I don't take entry-level employment, I said. I take notes at Sterling Technologies because Dad offered me the job and I accepted. But that's not my primary occupation. Then what is it? I run Quantum Capital Partners. I manage over $600 million in assets. I sit on the boards of 4 companies. I've been building my investment portfolio since I was 23, starting with money my mother left me, growing it through careful, strategic investments. Dad's voice was barely a whisper. Katie left you money. She left me everything, Emma. The trust was worth about $12 million when she died. You were 21. I was busy with the divorce and starting Sterling Technologies. I didn't really pay attention to what you were doing. I took that $12 million and built it into $600 million over 7 years, I said. That's not possible, Claire muttered. I did. I invested in tech startups before they were fashionable. I bought Bitcoin at $300. I acquired real estate in Seattle before the boom. I made smart, aggressive bets that paid off. I looked at Marcus. I did it by understanding business instinctively, by surrounding myself with A players, by having vision and killer instinct. Marcus's mouth opened and closed. Dad's eyes searched mine. Why didn't you tell us? Because you never asked what I did with Mom's trust. You assumed I was coasting on family money, working a nothing job at your company because I couldn't hack it in the real world. It was easier to let you think that. But why pull out now? Gerald asked. Goldman Sachs withdrew from the Series C this morning. Marcus misrepresented revenue from the European partnerships. Goldman did their due diligence and found the issues. They're out. Marcus went white. How do you know that? Goldman called me 2 hours ago. As the lead investor, I have information rights. They're required to notify me of material changes before they notify management. That's not. They called you before calling us? Yes. I was the largest investor. Now I'm completely divested. Dad shook his head slowly. Emma, without that 84 million, this company is finished. We can't operate. We can't meet our obligations. Everything your brother has built. Everything Marcus has built. I repeated calmly. Marcus built a house of cards. He's been burning 3 million a month on an expansion he can't afford. He's misrepresenting partnerships to investors. He's operating under the assumption that money will always be available because it always has been. He's reckless. I'm reckless, Marcus shouted. You just destroyed the family business. It's not the family business. You told me yourself. Remember 6 months ago, you said this company was for real family, for people with the sterling instinct. I'm just adopted, right? Just a support staffer. Just taking notes. You meant exactly that, he spat. You spent 6 months treating me like an idiot, like dead weight you were stuck with because Dad feels guilty. I stood up. So I'm removing myself. All 84 million of myself. Claire's voice cracked. Emma, please. This company employs 67 people. They have families, mortgages, children. If Sterling Technologies fails, they lose everything. Then Marcus should have thought of that before he built a company on other people's money without being responsible with it. I said simply. I've been responsible, Marcus shouted. I grew this company from 20 million to nearly 100 million in valuation. I secured partnerships. I expanded internationally. With my money, I said evenly. Every move you made, every hire, every expansion, every partnership, funded by my capital, and you treated me like I was stupid. Dad's face went gray. Emma, I know we didn't appreciate your role here. I know we took you for granted, but please think about what you're doing. This is still a family business. Even if we did a poor job making you feel like family. If you wanted me to feel like family, I said, you wouldn't have let Marcus and Claire spend 6 months belittling me. You wouldn't have sat silent while they questioned my intelligence, my work ethic, my worth. I picked up my laptop. I tried to warn you, by the way. At that board meeting 3 weeks ago, I asked about the Goldman term sheet and its impact on existing investors. Marcus told me to shut up and take notes. Gerald nodded slowly. If Marcus had listened, if anyone had taken me seriously for even a second, I would have explained my concerns about the company's cash position. I would have offered advice on managing the Series C process. I would have helped. I looked at each of them, but nobody wanted my help. You wanted a secretary. So this is revenge? Marcus asked, voice rising. You're destroying everything because your feelings got hurt? No, this is business, I said. Quantum Capital Partners has a fiduciary duty to its limited partners. When we identified material risks in Sterling Technologies overextension, misrepresented revenue, failed Series C funding, we had an obligation to protect our capital. So we withdrew. It's not personal, Marcus. It's just business. You understand business, right? The room was silent, except for Claire quietly crying. What happens now? Dad asked. Now, Sterling Technologies scrambles for emergency funding. You reach out to every investor you know. You beg for bridge loans. You cut costs drastically. Lay off most of the European team. Close international offices. Scale back to core operations. Or you file for bankruptcy and liquidate. That's the more likely outcome. Dad stood. Please, I know we failed you. I know I failed you after your mother died. I got so caught up in building this company that I stopped seeing you. I let Claire and Marcus treat you badly. I'm sorry. If you give us another chance, I'll make changes. I'll value your input. I'll treat you like a real part of this company. I don't want to be part of this company, Dad. I never did. Then why work here? Why spend 6 months taking notes if you didn't care? I wanted to see if you'd notice, I said simply. I wanted to see if at any point you'd realize there was more to me than you assumed. I sat in meeting after meeting, watching Marcus make mistakes, watching the company bleed money, wondering if anyone would ask my opinion. No one ever did. Ask now, Gerald said suddenly. Emma, if you were still invested, what would you recommend we do? I considered. Fire Marcus, bring in professional management, cut the European expansion entirely, and focus on core North American operations. Reduce burn to under $1 million a month. Then approach Series C funding from a position of stability rather than desperation. Would that work? Gerald asked. It would give you a chance. Right now, you have no chance. Marcus stood. Fire me. This is my company. No, I said calmly. This is Dad's company, and it was my capital. You were just the person spending both. I left before anyone could respond. The phone started ringing at noon. First Dad, then Claire, then Marcus. I didn't answer. By 2 p.m., David called. The full withdrawal is complete, all positions liquidated. You're officially out of Sterling Technologies entirely. Good, I said. They're going to call you. Probably all of them, multiple times. I know. What are you going to tell them? Nothing. There's nothing to say. I made a business decision. Quantum Capital Partners withdrew from an underperforming investment with material misrepresentations and management issues. That's it. David was quiet for a moment. How do you feel? Fine, really. I looked out my apartment window. I spent 6 months watching my brother treat me like an idiot while running a company into the ground with my money. 6 months listening to my stepmother tell me I wasn't cut out for business. 6 months being invisible while they celebrated themselves. I paused. Yeah, I feel fine. What happens to Sterling Technologies now? They'll try to find emergency funding. They won't get it. No one invests in a company that just lost its lead investor overnight. They'll make cuts, but it won't be enough. They'll probably file for bankruptcy within 60 days. Dad will be fine, he's got personal assets, investments outside the company. Claire will probably leave him once the money's gone. Marcus will have to get a real job. They'll survive. And you? I'm meeting with 3 new investment opportunities next week. Quantum Capital Partners is doing fine. At 6 p.m., Gerald Patterson called. Unlike the others, I answered. Emma, I need to tell you something, he said. I just left a meeting with Richard and the board. We voted to remove Marcus as president and COO. I sat up straighter. You did? Your father agreed? Yes, you were right. Marcus was reckless. The misrepresentations to Goldman were worse than he admitted. We're bringing in a professional management team to try to salvage what's left. That's smart. I also told Richard he's an idiot for not recognizing what you accomplished. $600 million in assets at 28. That's extraordinary. Thank you, Gerald. I know you're out of Sterling Technologies. I know you've moved on, but I wanted you to know at least one person on that board sees you clearly now. If Quantum Capital Partners ever needs an advisor or board member, I'd be honored to work with you. I appreciate that. Good luck, Emma. I think you're going to be just fine. After he hung up, I watched the sunset over Seattle. My phone buzzed with another call from Marcus. I declined. Then a text from Dad. We need to talk, please. I didn't respond. The thing about being underestimated is, people assume you're not paying attention. They think you don't notice condescension, dismissal, casual cruelty. They're wrong. I'd spent 6 months taking notes literally and figuratively. I watched Marcus overextend. I watched Dad enable him. I watched Claire position herself as the family's moral center while treating me like garbage. I waited, as smart investors do. Watch for mistakes. Let opponents overextend. Then strike. My phone rang again. Unknown number. Jennifer Walsh from Forbes. She wanted a story about Quantum Capital Partners and my investment record. I smiled. I'd be happy to tell you about Quantum Capital Partners' investment philosophy. How about tomorrow morning? Perfect. I ended the call and thought about Marcus at the gala, preaching the Sterling family legacy, killer instinct, and vision. He was right about one thing. Not everyone has it. But I did. And now everyone would.